Are you sorry? I mean, are you really sorry? Welcome to the end of the day. Just raising that question that we've all been confronted with, either from the receiving end or the end that is maybe hoping to be able to come to grips with a needed apology. Saying you're sorry is much harder than it appears, especially when the judgment of the apology is the other person. And we can go into deeper realms of thought on that, but today's topic is, are you sorry? And I know a lot of times when people say, I'm sorry, the very first thing that they do is they just simply say, sorry, and they don't even put the word I'm in front of it. So, right off the bat, you've removed the personal aspect of the apology. And the person that's feeling that the apology is due, that's what they're really hoping for. Besides the apology itself, they're really hoping that it's a person that's sorry and not just a verb, because sorry by itself really is just a verb. And when you say I'm sorry, it personalizes it. For example, when a family member that I knew, a child, would do something wrong, and they got to the point where they realized that they did something wrong, they would simply go, sorry. And as a person trying to set a good example, we would say, who's sorry? To be followed by, I'm sorry. And that is really what makes an apology so sincere. The other thing about apologies is, and I'll be the first to admit that for most of my life, I never saw the reality of this next statement. But whenever people say, I'm sorry, they usually follow it with a statement that follows that begins with either the word but or if or something like that, that from that point on immediately makes a condition of the apology. For example, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I did it because of ... Or, well, first of all, let's just stop right there for a second. If you say, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, before you even go any further, the word if pretty much doesn't even take responsibility for the fact that you know you did hurt the person's feelings. So, in a way, the apology has just been negated by the word if. If you can't acknowledge that you hurt the person's feelings, how are they supposed to believe that you're even sorry? Or here's another one. I'm sorry that we had a misunderstanding, but the reason why I did it was because of ... All right, so now you've claimed that you know that you've hurt the person's feelings, but now you're justifying why you did it, which the first impression of that from the person that's receiving the apology is that it was done in spite or intentional, maybe with no ill intent, but nonetheless you flew off the handle at them or you did something in retaliation, and then you're trying to justify why you did what you did. So plain and simple, like I said, didn't used to see that aspect of it, but I've come to realize that whenever you put the word if or but or because, it pretty much erases a lot of the effectiveness of the apology. So I have discovered through reading and listening to some wise people that it's really a good idea to just say, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, or I'm sorry I did this. Period. That's it. Yeah, there's a silence that will come after that because people expect there to be more. But really, if you want to have the truest apology received, that is the absolute best way to do it. Just say, I'm sorry I did this. Or, I'm sorry I did that. All right? Later on, after the hurt has been diminished and the channels of communication have opened up again, then maybe when the timing feels right and it's easier for the two people that have been hurt and did the hurting to have a new level of communication and understanding, then maybe at that point it would be appropriate to explain why you did what you did. But in the heat of the moment, it rarely solves anything, and it usually just leads to more hurt. For example, if you feel that you should have apologized and you wait a long time, then a lot of times there's more hurt that happens along the way. And it could also result in fracturing relationships of people further beyond those two people directly involved at first. For example, if you do something in public and the person that was hurt is not only hurt by what you did, but embarrassed by the fact that you did it in a public situation. Now, number one, you've complicated the whole thing because now the person that was hurt might feel that there's other people that need to know that your apology was made, and it just can get really, really out of whack. Other family members may be distanced and feel that they have to take sides, and usually in situations like this, they will only hear one side of the story first, and we have all heard that the first impressions are the lasting impressions. So rarely does the person that was offended have the opportunity to be heard and have their side felt listened to. So, if you think you've hurt someone today, don't wait a real long time to apologize to them. And it does say in God's word, if your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault, but just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. So basically, you'll do much better in your relationship with this person that's been hurt if you do it privately and you do it right away. And I hope this message was encouraging. And if you have any desire to get in touch with me, feel free to email me or contact me through this website. Thank you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for listening to At the End of the Day, and I look forward to talking to you again.